No, I didn't know that was going to be said on the what Job was saying. That's up to, Job goes on TV shows, he's his own man. But obviously, yeah, it was an interesting show.
Were you surprised?
A little bit, yeah.
Were you disappointed?
No, I'm never disappointed in Job Watson. Job Watson is the man of the highest integrity, highest character, a great person for our footy club, and yeah, never disappointed in Job.
No, when I say disappointed, we're disappointed that it's become so public now. It's not a matter of did players at Essendon take the AOD, it's now fact.
I think it's a very complicated issue, and it has been a very complicated issue, and that's why it's taken so long to work through this issue. It'll continue to be complicated. Hopefully this is over in 6-7 weeks and we can talk openly about the issue, but at the moment the complexities of the issue are still being worked through, and we're trying to get through those issues, and we can't make any more comments on individual issues until this investigation has been worked through.
But it's not as complicated now, is it? Because
I think, now fact. Well, no, it is very complicated, Tony, and we'll work through and we'll make further comments when the investigation's finished. We'll put all the facts on the table. It's still a very complicated issue.
Sure, you prefer it wasn't said though?
Why did he say?
I haven't talked to Joe about why he said it. As I said before, it's a very complicated and sensitive issue, and will come to light when the investigation's finished and we're able to talk about it openly and freely without the investigation going on.
Considering how emphatic John Fay was yesterday about what the use of a substance like that would mean, are you concerned what it will mean for Job after the submission?
I'm not concerned for Job. I'm not concerned. We have confidence in the process we're going through. We have confidence in the ASADA and the AFL investigation that the truth will come out. And as I said, it's a very complicated and sensitive issue, and we can't wait to talk openly and freely about everything that's happened in our football club. But at the moment, we can't do that.
Surely you prefer it wasn't said though, what Job said?
I'll go back to, it is so complicated and sensitive that we just want to wait until all the facts are on the table, everything's out in the open, and we can talk freely about it when the investigation's finished.
James, do you still have the utmost faith in Dr. Bruce Reid?
Dr. Bruce Reid is one of the greatest people you ever meet, and I have the utmost faith in him. He is another man. If you put Job Watson, you put integrity up on the table, and you put Job Watson and Bruce Reid right up there together. Fantastic people. Bruce Reid's worked at this footy club in this industry for 32 years. And has guided this through this club as the doctor in impeccable fashion, and will continue to do so.
But he has been further implicated in this, hasn't he? I mean, through your captain in his interview on Fox on Monday night by saying it was basically approved by Dr. Reid.
I'll go back to, it is such a complicated and sensitive issue that when this investigation finishes and we can talk about everything openly and freely, we look forward to that day.
James, how is Doc?
Bruce is great. Bruce is, Bruce is a very resilient person. He's a very confident person. He has a belief in what's happened, and as I said, once we can talk about it, I think Bruce will be one of the first to be able to get out and speak his mind.
You're close.
I think we all want to. I think we all want to talk, but we understand there's a process. We respect the process, and if it takes months and months, it takes months and months. We'll go through the process so that in the end we can come out and talk, but more importantly this club can move on.
But James, is it frustrating when the process is over, you're still going to satisfy three masters, WADA, ASADA and the AFL?
Well, I mean, the AFL is ultimately the governing body, so that's an issue that we'll do when it comes up.
Like you wake up today, you got a game in 24 hours. Do you address what Job said and the media fallout today with the players, or is it right, move on, we've got a game tomorrow night?
Oh, there's no doubt we talk about it. You'd be silly, be naive to say that we don't talk about. It's hard to hide from it. You can't hide from what's going on. We talk about it with the players. We talk about where we're going, but we have got a game tomorrow, and we just had our team meeting talking about the game, and that's where we're focused. And we'll continue. This will continue to move on around us while we go through the football season.
Do you need to warn other players in terms of what they can and can't say in a media setting?
Yes, there is, and I think that's been said.
James, can you systematically say that your players didn't get an unfair advantage?
I don't believe our players had an unfair advantage.
James, you're close with Job Watson. The Sports Minister, Hugh Delahunty's just said that he now believes that Job Watson's Brownlow is in serious doubt. I mean, how does that make you feel as a coach and as a friend?
I don't believe it's in serious doubt, and I think that we come back to the issue about the complicated nature of this and the sensitive nature of this. I keep saying, if we wait till the investigation finishes, all the facts are on the table, and we can actually tell you what we believe happened, it'll be a great day for all of us. And I understand the media's need to find out what happened, and I encourage that. I encourage the media to try and find out exactly what happened. You're an important part of this whole process. But in terms of what we can say, as a football club and people in this football club, until this investigation finishes, we cannot put all the facts on the table, and I hope you respect that.
Yeah, James, you say you don't believe that Job's Brownlow is in any serious doubt. Do you think there's any doubt at all?
I don't believe so. With the facts the facts I have, I don't believe it's in doubt.
You must be frustrated that you can't speak those facts that you keep talking about, given the investigation's still underway.
Well, frustration is one emotion, but understanding is also another reality that we're going through an investigation. We've signed up to the investigation. We've given undertakings to the AFL and ASADA that we will keep what's happening in the investigation confidential, and we'll stick to that because it's an important part of the process.
Still have trust in the medical staff and support staff of the club?
I think they've got a huge amount of trust in the medical staff and the support staff of the club.
So even despite Job's comments, that you don't think that's a breach of trust, or that there wouldn't be any concerns there?
No concerns have been expressed to me, and the way Bruce Reid has looked after these players, as I said, for 32 years, this football club is of the highest level, and I'd be very surprised if they felt that way.
James, the Senate passed the laws that they compel people to talk to ASADA, namely Stephen Dank. Everyone else out of Essendon has been called to that investigation. How do you feel about that news?
It doesn't affect us one bit. We've been very upfront. There's no need to pass a law to compel any of us to go to ASADA, because we've all been forthright, truthful and upfront from day one.
Will you welcome Stephen Dank?
I welcome that everyone has a chance to talk and talk openly and honestly.
James, when you say it's complicated and there's more to it than what we know, is this talking about the grey area as to whether you believed that it was banned at the time? Is that what you're alluding to?
I'm not alluding to anything, Tony. I think that this investigation's been going for 5 months. It is very complicated, very sensitive. I keep saying that we look forward to the day that we can talk, and it's not today.
It's a disappointing time for them. Their captain has admitted to taking a banned substance. What can you say to fans of the club right now?
I think the fans of the Essendon Football Club have been fantastic, as they always have been through this whole process. They've supported our club, supported our players. They're out in full force every week, 55,000 members, which is the most we've ever had. There's no doubt that the players, the football club and the supporters are on the same page, and I think that's great.
But do you recognise that after the admissions on Monday night by the captain, it's terrible that
The fans have been very supportive the whole way through this process, and they'll continue to do so. When the investigation finishes, and the complexity and the sensitivity of this we can talk about, I think they're looking forward to that as much as we are.
Did Job address the players?
James, we see you coach and you get really involved with the players. How difficult is it for you at this time to be clinical and have the set answers for the questions that everyone keeps asking?
Well, they're not so much set answers, but we have a job to do to coach our players. We understand the period that we're in terms of we can't talk. It's the fact. There's no point getting away from the fact, and we'll continue to work with the ASADA, continue to work with the AFL to the end of this investigation, and continue to coach and play football. And we're looking forward to it. And I think if we can talk about the game, if you want to, that would be good. But I've got a team I've got to go and coach.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. Well, it's not really asking you about that, but is that the disappointing thing, the fact that you're sitting there watching the television on Monday night, and for all intents and purposes you would be here talking about the game today, but because Job thrust the whole drugs controversy back into the spotlight, is that the disappointing thing?
No, Job didn't thrust I don't believe Job thrust it. It's there. It's in front of us every day. That's not disappointing.
Is Joe Danaher playing this week?
Not sure yet. We've got to pick a team after training, so we'll go away and pick the team after we finish our session.
So the issue is not playing Belchaders against two ruckmen at Westgate. That means someone has another.
Yeah, I think we need to balance up whether we need two legitimate ruckmen against Nat Nui and Cox, and we'll work that out after training. We've got a pretty good idea which way we're going to go, but we're looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to another chance to go to Perth and prove ourselves against a quality opposition. Thanks, guys.